The Huey Cam. Featuring the best of Lamont and Tonelli on 107.7 The Bone.
And what a day it is because, Paul, we have finally been able to set this up.
Yeah, we've been trying to get this arranged for a while.
We have worked on this for so long, and basically the front office has shot us down, but they're saying liability issues for Sully.
Right.
But we are no longer scared of the liability just because the guy that was the roadblock is now gone. So we welcome, this is a celebrity edition of an Impossible Mission with super producer Sully.
Yeah.
And what a celebrity we have in the studio this morning.
One of the all-time great 49ers, Hall of Famer, number 79,
Yep.
Bob Sinclair.
Bob.
I mean, you talk about San Francisco football.
Yep.
High school, college, and with the 49ers. Bob, great for you to be with us this morning. How you doing?
I'm doing just great.
And
He played both ways at a time when he never came off the field to even block kicks with his teeth.
You got to be careful, though, Paul. You can't say both ways. Too much in your city.
Hey, I am looking at your bio here, and I guess they made a mistake on the first issue from the Hall of Fame where they said you were 6'2" and 230, and your actual height on the corrected card was 6'9". Are you 6'9"?
I used to be.
Well, you were the tallest guy. You were the tallest guy in the NFL at the time.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
at
because
that
I'm
time,
6'3", and I'm looking up at you. You are one massive dude.
I'm about 6'7" and a half now.
Yeah.
We don't shrink, we settle.
Hey, I'm reading a bit from your book here. And before we get into the Impossible Mission with super producer Sully, who is terrified of today, I mean, he is shaking in his pants. I think he's kind of figured out a bit what we're going to do with him, and he is terrified of this. But before we do this with him, I am reading, you have a book that is called St. Clair, I'll Take It Raw.
Right.
And there are some great stories when you were playing football with the 49ers. One story in particular, you were at St. Mary's College during the preseason with Ed Hankey, who was your defensive end on the team. Is that right?
Correct.
And now you did some kind of deer hunting. Were you planning on doing deer hunting? Explain this story because this is incredible.
Yeah, during our off time over there, when we weren't having meetings or practice and so forth, we would go hunting out into the fields. It was the season was on and so forth, and we were deer hunters, and we'd go out and I'd shoot the deers, and then field dress them right there, and
there in the hills of Moraga.
right there in the pear orchards.
Yeah.
And I would, I have a tendency to like liver.
Yeah.
And when it's just out of the animal itself and it's still steaming, and I would scrape, off all of the bile and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And then just, take a cut and take a look at it.
Because you wouldn't want to make yourself sick.
No, you wouldn't want to get rid of that nasty bile stuff.
So I'm reading here that you and Ed one night were out and you saw a deer near a barbed wire fence and you whacked him with a 38 right there.
Right.
And then you went running around to pick it up, and the deer then got up, jumped up, and started running away after you whacked it with the 38.
Correct.
So what happened at that point?
And Ed was running after it and hurtled over the fence.
Yeah.
And it was a barbed wire fence. Well, he almost made it over. He didn't quite. And you know where he ripped.
He got it right in the apple sack. this barbed wire fence, right?
Right. And what happened was he came back, and then we brought the deer. I helped him lift it over the fence, and we brought it back to training camp. And at night there, he strung it up, and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, Bob, look." And he said, "Look at my groin." And I looked down, and it was
First time a man's ever said that to you, I hope.
Yeah. And it was all bloody, the pants and everything. I said, "Damn, Ed, what the hell is that?"
Yeah.
And he showed me. I said, "Geez, you got a bad cut there. Your testicle is just ripped."
Yeah, you ripped his testicle.
Right. And so we had to go get the doctor, and the doctor, who was an alcoholic, and he would. The regular doctor had the night off, but we had this guy who was kind of had a little too much, I guess. And he came over, and he was trying to sew it up and everything.
Hold it. You had a drunk doctor sew up his apple sack.
He was trying. Oh, geez. And he had no anesthetics or anything like that. And we put a towel in his mouth, like the old Tarzan stuff. Put a towel in his mouth, and you bite down on it. And it finally worked. It finally, he finally got it together.
Needless to say, you guys had a lot more fun during training camp in those days than the guys do today.
By far. Especially after the moon settled down and it was dark enough that we could sneak out and go to Concord, to Pick's patio, and do a little dancing and so forth.
Oh, that is beautiful. All night. Now you mentioned you were known for eating raw liver.
Right.
And you brought some raw liver in here. How much liver is this? I mean, this is humongous. It looks like a big liver steak.
Well, it was a big cow.
how much liver is here?
Oh, I won't eat it all. I just wanted to show you how much I enjoy this. It's about 1.5 inches thick, and it weighs at least 4 pounds.
Well, wow. I will tell you this: we will have the great Bob St. Clair eating liver. And Sully will chow down on this as well. This is raw liver,
right,
straight from the cow.
The Sully liver challenge.
Look at the look on Sully's face right now. Get a barf bag ready, baby Huey.
How old were you when you first ate raw liver, Bob?
Oh, I can remember when I was just a kid. My grandmother used to feed me pieces of meat. From the chopping block in the kitchen in the Mission District where I grew up, and. Had a dog, and whoever got it first, I used to fight the dog. When she would throw a piece of meat, and then I would go after it, and the dog, and liver was my favorite, though.
Oh, that is beautiful. Raw liver. Sully's going to chow down on this with Bob St. Clair coming up in a few moments.
Lamont and Tonelli, weekday mornings 5 to 10 on 107.7 The Bone.